There's a whole lot of information that I can get here. Tuition, fees, room and board, all of that. So I'm going to go ahead, and like I said, if you have a split screen, it works out so much better because you can just go ahead and start writing it down. So I'm just going to put application fee, and I'm going to abbreviate, but I won't abbreviate in my essay, $60, acceptance rate, 51%. Let's see, tuition. I actually typed it all out already and I'm copying it, 54,400. Remember, I'm using the website, the university website tuition, not the other ones. Niche and Peterson sometimes are a year behind, so we want to go with what the university says. Room and board was 16,020. Whoops, I forgot the one. That's a big difference. Okay. And then let's see, student fees, $218. And now, I might want to put a total cost in here because I think people might want to know the complete total. So what's that all going to amount to? And the total cost is $70,638 per year. That's a lot of money. Multiply that by 4 because it takes 4 years to get your bachelor's degree. That's a lot of money. I also know that 79% of students get financial aid. And I know that the net cost, because I did get that also, was $29,737. $29,737. That's a lot less than $70,000. That means that's how much I'm going to have to pay. I'm going to have to pay that somehow, credit cards or loans or something, or if my parents have to pitch in. That's a lot. So that's quite a bit of information. So that'll help. So now I need to go and look at the last section. I'm going to do college. Campus life. So anything to do with campus life or people, like what's it like to be a student there? So we've got all of the costs, we got history and background. So what am I going to say? Well, I might want to start with the population. So the population is, I think, 2,000. Let's see, it's in here, 2,000. Where did I put it? Ah, there it is, very low, 2,208. Wow. Population 2,208. Think about that for a minute. Our school has about almost 200 and maybe 80 students. Little Rock probably has closer to this amount, 2,000. Yeah, that's really small. For a college, for a university to be as small as a high school, that's really small. But that's kind of nice. If you want a small university, this is a really nice choice. All right, so what else can I say about student life? Well, I might want to talk about the, let's see, I don't know, the demographics. So what's it like? So there's 2,000 different people. So maybe I need to go back, and all I need to do is this. Control C, Control V. There I've got all of my demographics. I also looked up, oh, I know what else. According to the website, it's 99%, no, wait. What other, I thought I got some, oh, here it is, the male and female ratio. I knew there was something else. So I can say there's a male and female ratio. Those are not supposed to center. So, and Mrs. Polisa does not like it when they're not lined up. I also want to make sure that I've got the right color. There we go. And this is going to be an interesting statistic, and we'll talk about that later. So we're going to move on. So popular majors. I could just copy that off of here. I've got popular majors right here. Okay. Let's see, what else can I talk about that is having to do, oh yeah, that's right. We have all of this stuff here. We have all of the clubs and organizations. Actually, I'm going to put that here, and I'm going to put over 100 student organizations. And then I can say including, and then these are my examples, okay? Now, again, these are not the same. I don't like it like that. I want it to be Calibri. Oh, wait, is that not Calibri? No. Gosh, I don't know what it is. Oh no, that's too big. But let's make it smaller. Or even smaller. And that's one of the things about this. So if we look at, oh, it was all Arial. What do you know about that? So I'm going to change these to match. Oh, Century Gothic. Well, so if you're really picky about how it looks, you want all of the fonts to match. So that's important. There it is. Okay. You don't have to match it, it's okay. But I did come to the end of my bullet points, so I might have to add some more. So what have I not included? Oh, Division 3 sports. Go back, put Division 3 sports. And then one of the other things, when I look back over here, I'm looking at international students. I didn't include that in my demographics. So maybe I should go back to that. Where are my demographics? After male, female, I'm going to say that there's 27% international, because that's important. That's big. You're going to find when you look at your own universities, they may not be that big. I know when I went to USC, it was 25% international, and I had students from other countries in almost every class. And it was kind of interesting to hear their perspective about life. 96% of students live on campus, and the student-faculty ratio. Those are really good points. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. Oops. It didn't copy. So I'll go back. Control C, Control V, and that's going to be a separate bullet point. All right, so I think I have quite a bit there. So that's going to get me started on my outline. I'm going to transfer all that information, but then I have to go back and I have to think about how I'm going to write my quote, and I also have to figure out what's my thesis, what's my overall my main message in this particular essay. Well, if it's an informative essay, we're trying to share information about our university. So I need to start with something that will just kind of get my person to know what I'm going to talk about, to get my reader involved and know what I'm talking about. So if I'm talking about the history and background and the expenses and all of this information, I need to give like a broad statement, like a very general statement about my university. So I'm thinking maybe what I can say is something like, I have to state the name of the college, Mount Holyoke University. I'm sorry, it is college. Their name is college. And I'm going to use some words that I hope you don't copy, but I'm going to say it's unique because it's different. It's an all-girls school, a unique university. And you know what? I have a lot of information in this first one. I wonder if I can take the location from here and put it in my introduction. Now I've given some information. So I don't need this bullet point anymore. All right. And then how am I going to transition from this first paragraph into the second one? So maybe I can say, I have to think of a way I can kind of switch over to the next paragraph. So I might have to come back to that, but maybe I will go ahead and talk about our transitions from the first paragraph to the second paragraph, and we're going to look at that first body paragraph. So remember, you can always use the word first. First, the university, you can say first Mount Holyoke has a very, and I've already said interesting. I'm going to say different history. Oh, maybe if I spelled it right. Okay, and so now I have that. And maybe the next thing I'm going to talk about is cost. So how can I transition from all of this background information to costs? So maybe I can say, Mount Holyoke is a private university. Now, when again, maybe I should spell correctly. All right, so next I can talk about as a private university, tuition is not cheap, but oh my goodness, I did it again. Not cheap, but you can get a great education. Okay, there we go. Let's see, transition to the next point. So after I talk about all the costs, maybe I need to find a way to transition it to the next section. So I need to come up with something like, while these may seem like high costs, I want to talk about or relate it to what an incredible experience it's going to be. It is a great value for the experience. We'll leave it at that. And then we can say the university has a very interesting and diverse campus with with many different opportunities. Okay, I didn't spell that right. To learn. Now, you have to be careful. Do not copy my words, but you kind of get the idea of what you've got to be able to do. So we have all of this information. So I'm going to end this and transition with something like students can learn from each other and from the many professors. Because if there's 9-to-1, that means if there's 2,000 students, so divide that by 9, or just round it up, divide by 10, there's like 200 professors. That's crazy for only that few amount of students. That's awesome. Then we've got to restate our thesis. Well, our thesis was that it was a unique university. And so how are we going to restate that? Well, how about if I say something like Mount Holyoke would be a very unique and interesting, place to spend 4 years and earn a degree. Okay, perfect. Now I've got to restate everything. History is very different and interesting. While the fees are high, the experience is worth the price. There, see, I'm trying to fit that in. And then the last thing is about the campus life. Students will learn, students will learn not only inside the classroom, but also outside of the classroom. And then we always need that closing little part of our conclusion. What am I going to say to make that reader really remember this? Maybe I'm going to say you should consider Mount Holyoke as your choice. Mount Holyoke as a great choice to study and earn your degree. Consider campus as a great choice to study and earn your degree. Yeah, let me see. Well, something like that. I could change it when I'm actually writing. And the only thing we just have to go back is that transition to the first point. So maybe we can kind of